Okay, today I'm going to be battling in one of the 64-player drafts that they do on release events. M14 came out last week, and I haven't actually drafted this format at all. So I figured it'd be a nice little break. Usually Core Set Limited isn't that interesting, but I really like drafting green in it, like above all else, because I think green's just like, I don't know, back to basics magic, sort of. You get to play creatures, big ones, and you just smash people over and over. Not doing block because of the seasons just wind down. So, in this pack, I have Gale Raider Sliver, which I'm not going to first pick, because I don't want to force myself into slivers, and it's... Well, I mean, I could play it in just a random blue deck. There's no reason to pick Flying Man for a random blue deck. Best cards in this pack are probably Messenger Drake, Rootwalla, Child of Night, and I think those are the only three cards I'd first pick. This giant thing costs way too much for a 4/4. Wall of Frost is fine, but I don't like I said, I want to play green, so I don't really want to pick a large blue wall. Gnawing Zombie and Blood Baron are both fine. Blood Baron? Blood Baron. I don't know how to say that word. In the Active Treason sack a creature deck with the I know there's a few cards cord. I only looked at the set a little bit, but Rootwall has been good since Tempest, I think, was printed in. So I'm just going to go ahead and take that. Really good creature that's quite adept at racing. This pack has a Trained Condor, which is super good. Don't really want to be blue-green though, because I won't have any removal. Clone's also pretty good. Advocate of the Beast is not that good, so I can't just follow up with another green card. And Lay at the Land and Gladegar Scowl are both pretty bad. 1/1s without relevant abilities aren't that good, and Lay of the Land doesn't accelerate you, and it costs a card to put a basic land to fix your mana, so... Strongest card in this pack is probably Trained Condor, but since I don't want to be blue-green, I could... So my options here are basically three. I could take Pyromancer, Child of Night, or Trained Condor. Pyromancer's good, and Green Red's a combination I very much like, but I don't usually see myself playing a lot of spells, and I think it's just a weaker card than Trained Condor. But I know I'll be in red. I know I can draft a feasible red-green deck. Child of Night, I'm not a big fan of black and green, so I'm not going to do that. I think I'm just going to take Trained Condor with this pick, and then go into blue if I have to, and not necessarily lock myself into green and blue. But there's a Mana Wave Slither. Oh, another Trained Condor. Ugh, it sucks. So I'm going to take the other Trained Condor, because I think that card's extremely good. Flyers that give other things flying is very good. And there's a Malthorn here too, Malhorn. Claustrophobia is the very few removal I get, but I don't think it's better than Trained Condor. I want as many Trained Condors as I can. Mana Wave Slither is a card I really want, but I can't justify taking it over another Condor. I would take Mana Wave Slither even in a non-Slivers deck, because there are a lot of fat creatures in green, and any Elvish Mystics or Mana Wave Slivers you can get are extremely good. Verdant Haven not so much because it costs 3 mana, but Mana Wave Silver and Llanowar Elves, or whatever it's called now, Llanowar Mystic, Elvish Mystic, those are good. But I'm going to just take the Trained Condor and accept that I'm not going to get a Claustrophobia this draft. So, as much as I don't want to go into green-blue, it seems like green's open with Grizzly Bear here. A very good Grizzly Bear. Well, not very good, but it's better than normal Grizzly Bear. And a Giant Spider. Not sure which is better. I think 2-drops are generally more important than Giant Spiders, so I think Giant Spider is probably a better card. I'm going to go ahead and take the Spider here. I don't want the Seacoast Drake because it's just a 1/3. Show of Valor's combat trick, not that interested in it. Every other card in this is kind of mediocre. I have no reason to go into white for Fortify, or black for Dark Favor. Dismiss into Dream is not very good, since it costs 7 mana, so I guess I'm just left with the Spider. Ooh, Scroll Thief. I'm definitely taking Scroll Thief here. One, because there are no good cards in this pack. Like, this, and Smelt to some extent are all basically unplayable. Advocate Beast is fine, but not exciting, as is Negate, Altars Read, Blood Baron, and Slur Construct, I guess. Meh. This card's not even good to sideboard hit against Sliver decks now. like Vincer Sliver and Metallic Sliver was. Well, you couldn't actually ever draft Slivers in Tempest, but you could in Time Spiral. But I'm going to take the Squirrel Thief since I already have 2 Trained Condors. It's a very good combo. Door of Destinies. So a lot of staffs. I think I'm just going to take Corpse Hauler, because I know it's probably the strongest card in this pack. Like, Barrage of Expendables is way too not... Well, it's not bad, but it's just definitely just not worth the card, generally. Unless you have a ton of active treasons, and I'm not going in that direction. So I'm just going to take Corpse Hauler and go into black if it starts opening up. Corpse Hauler is pretty good. Like, it's a early game 2-1, and if you draw it late, you can use it as a... to get back a big creature. Another Giant Spider this late. And a Academy Raider, which I thought was a pretty good card. Huh. Think I'm just going to take another Spider and leave the Raider on the table, since that leaves me with 2 Spiders and a bunch of Trained Condors. Ooh, wow. This is exactly the kind of thing I want in my all Trained Condor decks. 5-drop 4/4s that can get huge and have Trample. This card's also actually, I think, just like fine. I like big creatures. I like drafting green in core sets. Ranger Skull's fine too, but this lets me draft the Elvish Mystics and whatnot. I don't want to play against Siege Mastodon, so I'm just going to take it off the table here. I'm going to hide it. Glade Cover Scout, negate Walter's Reap, Staff. The only card I can see playing here is negate, so I'll just take that and hide it. Soulmender, you gain 1 life. I'll take the Verdant Haven. I don't think I'm going to play it, but you never know. Looks of Immortality in case there is a mill deck in this format I'm not aware of. Walter's Reap, Plains. I'm not kidding about the playability of these staves. Like, they're absolutely atrocious. 3 mana artifacts that gain life. Not exactly breaking the bank here. And Island. So if we cost sort, I've got a lot of 3-drops, some Spiders, and a Behemoth. So I'd really love some Mana Weft Slivers or some Elvish Mystics. Where's Color Sort? Okay. And I could go into black, though that's extremely unlikely at this point. I really want to be blue with these Trained Condors. It's possible I could splash though if something else opens up, but really, nothing's really been open. There was a really late Academy Raider, but I didn't see anything in red past that. So we have a Doomblade, which I could splash for. Rumbling Baloth, which is pretty good. Deathcase Cockatrice, which is double black, so I'm probably not going to play that. I think I'm just going to take Doomblade and maybe splash it. Maybe the Baloth will wheel. The Baloth is very good, though. But this pack's pretty weak overall for me. And I don't feel like taking Cancel, and splashing Doomblade at least gives me some removal in my currently blue-green deck. Or, yeah. And I can, if I pick up a Mana Weft Sliver, and I have a Verdant Haven, so splashing won't be the absolute worst if I end up going for Doomblade. Ooh, I like Into the Wilds. I thought this card was, like, fine. But I'm gonna take the Messenger Drake here. I think Messenger Drake's a better card than Woodborn Behemoth. Though, it sucks that I have to pass a Serra Angel. Yeah, this card seems fine. Better in sealed than draft, definitely, but it's a form of card advantage that ramps you, even. I hope the time of wheels, because I really want those in this deck, like where I can just beat down over and over again. I really also want some early drops, but for now I'm just going to take a Messenger Drake. And then a green Doomblade. Pretty sure green Doomblade is better than Divination. Divination's a little slow and dirtily. And green Doomblade, aka Deadly Recluse, is a 2-drop and a Doomblade. Just everything you want in a green card. It's not... Liturgy of Blood is pretty good in this pack. There's also Academy Raiders and Pacifism. So, looks like everyone's getting some removal out of this pack. Vial of Poison, I don't remember what that does. Target creature gains death touch this turn. That seems unlikely. So, I've got Giant Growth, Sensory Deprivation, or Troll Hide here. Oath of the Ancients is unplayable because it's enchantment tribal, basically. I don't think I want Sensory Deprivation because my creatures are already be intrinsically larger as I'm green. So it becomes down to Troll Hide and Giant Growth. And I don't know which is better. I know Giant Growth's much cheaper and an instant, but Troll Hide can just carry games on its own. Slap it on a Trained Condor or what have you. I think my deck's a little slow right now. Maybe I can just take Giant Growth. Yeah, I'm gonna take Giant Growth, though I have no idea if that's right or not. I haven't really thought the ramifications of enchantment versus combat trick. Hunt the Weak. This is removal, right? +1/+1 counter on target creature controls in that. Yeah, it's not the best kind of removal since it's 4 and is also fighting things. But all these other cards are pretty weak for me. Like Diabolic Tutor. I'm not. Past the Hunt the Weak, Coral Mork's probably my next best choice. Ironically, because it's not a very good card. Ooh, another Doomblade. Excellent. I'm picking up a lot of Doomblade this pack. If Doomblade wasn't in this pack, I would take Time Ebb. Just so I could try to tempo them out with my large creatures. Which I think is much stronger than going for... Ooh, wow. This is a really late Trained Condor. I can't be overrating this card. This card seems very good. Like, I've heard it's very good. There's no way I can get 3, but okay. Sure. I'm not gonna look a gift horse too long in the mouth. Best card in this pack is probably Dark Favor. I think it's the only card that can possibly just kill me. Maybe Show of Valor if I don't want to play against that. But I'm not too worried about any of these other things. Actually, I think Fortify is better than Show of Valor. I'm just gonna take Fortify. And here's the pack that I took the Doomblade in. None of these cards really matter. I guess I'll take the Cannon Minotaur. Oh, into the Wilds Wield. I probably should have taken Ranger Squall there, but I want to try out their rare. Bramble Crush just in case. I want to bring in a 4-drop Naturalize. Pillarfield Ox. Pay No Heed. Does this card even cantrip? I don't think it does. Yeah, it just makes a creature card in your hand be slightly larger and uncounterable, which is not very good. So this deck looks like a mess so far. If we hide Corpse Hauler because I'm not playing it, we've got a lack of ways to get into my large creatures. So I can take Rumbling Baloth or Manawave Slither, basically. There's no blue cards in this pack and nothing that I would want to splash for. Like Thorncaster Slivers, I have no slivers right now, so I wouldn't go into it. I've never seen this card before, so I'm reading it. Gains lifelink and vigilance, 6-drop. That's actually fine, but not for my deck. I'm just gonna take the sliver here. I really hope I get a Baloth this pack, but I have like plenty of fat, I think, with these spiders and the behemoth to kill them. Like, I obviously want more because Rumbling Baloth is very efficient, but slivers will help me splash Doomblade and get into those later games. Another Clone. So I have a choice between Spore Mound, which is a pretty good 5-drop, makes Saprolings every time you play a land, or Essence Scatter, which is a quasi-removal spell, along with my Recluses and Doomblade. I think I'm just going to slam that Essence Scatter here. Even though I want a little bit large creatures, I think there will be one later, and I don't think there will be Essence Scatters later. Though, I could actually take Clone as well. Yeah, I want to try Clone. Clone's generally as strong as the strongest creature on the board at the time, so maybe it's an additional Trained Condor likely, but maybe a Behemoth or something. So another Doomblade. A Frost Breath, which would be better if I had more an aggressive curve, like more 2-drops or whatever. Seacoast Drake, which is much worse than Recluse, and that's pretty much it. Devout Invocation's not going to be making the cut if I even wanted to splash for it, and Recluse is much better than Seacoast Drake, so I guess I'll just take a third one. Grizzly Bear is pretty good. That's pretty much the only thing in this pack for me. Claustrophobia, actually. I guess I should have taken the Troll Hide. I didn't think I was going to pick up this many Recluses. Or I actually just didn't think about it. So I guess I'll take Claustrophobia. I want the Grizzly Bear, Predatory Sliver, but I can't really justify taking it over a removal spell. That brings me up to like basically 2 plus 3 Recluses. Ooh, Messenger Drake. So I know I needed I was just talking about removal spells, but I have, I think, plenty now with Claustrophobia, Recluses, and whatever time webs I get in the last few picks. So I want Messenger Drake and hopefully get a Baloth as well. Elite Arcanist is kind of interesting, but the only instant I really want to play over and over again is Doomblade. Like, Giant Growth is very good copied onto it, but it loses its luster pretty quickly when you know, see it coming like that. And it's pretty swingy, right? So I'm just going to take the reliable 3/3 for 5. And so here's this time map we're getting that I was talking about. Another Savage Summoning, isn't that a rare? Yeah. Yep. Pretty sure time map is better than Ranger's Coil. Howl of the Night Pack, that's interesting. That gives me a lot of wolves, but with 2 condors, or excuse me, 3 condors, I really want this Baloth, so I'm just going to take that. And apparently there's a mill deck in this format if you can get enough Tomb Scours. Though I think if I didn't have so many condors, I'd take the Howl of the Night Pack, because it's a little swingier. You can win games off of it much easier. I could take a Lay of the Land for this Doomblade, or I could just take Sensory Deprivation or Negate. Do I have any? I don't think I have a Negate. Just take a Sensory Deprivation. Unlikely to play it. Yeah, I'll take a Dialogue Tutor since I don't want anyone to get their hands on that too late. Sure, I'll take a 7-drop 5/5. Never know when you might need it. Don't want to play against Mine Rot. I can take Shimmering Grotto and play it. I'm surprised that wheeled. It's definitely not a bad card. I would have prioritized it more. I believe I took a Recluse in that pack. Kind of sad I didn't get any Elvish Mystics. Or is it a, I wonder if it's a uncommon. Maybe I don't know the name of it. I can't spell. Elvish Mystic? Nope. Oh well. So, if you ever play in a 64-man draft, what happens here is you have all 45 picks. Oh, excuse me, after the forest. And it'll hang at the screen for basically forever. You're not allowed to, unless they change this, you're not allowed to build your deck until all 8 tables have finished drafting. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it here and resume the video when everyone else finishes. Okay, we're back in deck building. I'm going to play this Grotto, but I'm going to move to the side real quick. So I'm going to try this Sliver. Into the Wilds I might play. I'm leaning towards yes. All these Recluses, Giant Growth, all these Train Condors, Time Ebbs, Coral Thief, Claustrophobia, Clone, Messenger Drakes. So that's 23 right there. I could also play Sensory Deprivation and Doomblade. So I don't... So what fixing do I have for Doomblade? I have this Verdant Haven. I can play a Swamp and a Shimmering Grotto and then Doomblade. I think that's probably worth it, actually. So if I'm playing this Doomblade, I want to cut a card. And that card is probably going to be... I want to try this Into the Wilds. I think it may be the weakest card in my deck, but I've never played with it. I think it's going to be good, so might as well try it. I'll never know if I don't play it once. I could cut a Giant Growth, which, I could Giant Growth my Trained Condor and they block it. Maybe it is Into the Wilds. I wanna play this card, but I'd rather play Doomblade. Yeah, I'll just cut Into the Wilds. Kind of sucks, but I think Doomblade's a much better, or I know Doomblade's a reliable good card, so I have no idea what Into the Wilds, if it's good or not. And I know that doesn't impact the board immediately, like most of my other cards, since I have 17 creatures in my deck. And I'm playing the Large Sliver because I already have a Verdant Haven and a Mana Wave Sliver, plus it gives me something to do if we go into super late game. So, I might as well play an additional Gigantic Fatty. Yeah. Not gonna play the Negate or the Elixir. I don't really want to splash or anything else since I didn't really see anything splashable, so what do I want to do here? So Moto suggests 718, which I kind of want to agree with. It seems pretty accurate to me. The only double blue I have is for these Messenger Drakes. The double greens are for the Baloth and the Behemoth, and I have a ton of 2-drops that are green. So yeah, I think 718 is fine. Actually, do I even need the Swamp? Yeah, I probably want the Swamp. Without the Swamp, I'd only have 3 sources of black. Actually, no, screw the Swamp, I don't need it. Just gonna play another Forest. Yeah, another Forest. Okay, so actually, the double blues I have are Messenger Drake and Clostroi, which I really want to play if I could draw them. But I think I have enough to allow that anyway, so yeah, we're just gonna 9 forests, 7 islands. Okay, gonna submit this. And I'll see y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and actually add the lands I want to my deck. Save this in the building blocks folder. This is Green U M14. Because I like my lands being fancy when I draft. I did this in my cube draft if you saw that one. But essentially I'm just replacing the lands with unhinged ones. Yep, there we go. So save it there and put it back in the deck builder. And it'll let you submit it. Sweet. Okay, so I'll be back for round 1. Hopefully don't get eliminated right off the bat, because I actually really like playing green and blue decks. Because especially with these sweet trained condors and these giant spider Baloths, it seems like pretty fun times.